lot of important things we learn as children. A lot of, I think I've discussed this a bit. A lot of those fundamental sentiments that build the foundation of who we are really instilled when we're kids. Like camaraderie, friendship, if you will. Like, growing up as a kid, I didn't have any friends. Like, I supplemented that sort of sense of, like, a communal group for virtual marsupials. These holograms on television became what I identified as a friend. What game am I talking about here? Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot is the adventures of what looks like a jackal slash hyena, also mixed in with a wombat. And he tries to save the world from this Dr. Neocortex, this really evil fella who just is bent up on destroying the world. And with all megalomaniac problems that, they want to resolve, the biggest question is always, if you actually do accomplish destroying the world, what happens next? Well, we never really find out, because Crash Bandicoot, being as awesome as he is, and runs away from boulders and rides polar bears against their wills, well, he manages to stop Cortex. But not for the first time. Because there's a second installment, and then there's a third installment, in which he, again, has to put an end to this evil savage's plan to, again, destroy the world without really thinking it through what would happen if the world actually ends, because in turn that would end them. That's the main point there. So if you're a maniac who is bent on really conquesting the world, I don't think it really works in your benefit. Somehow destroying everyone also kind of like it's inclusive to you. But as I think about it, the company who made the game, Naughty Dog, I see comparisons as an adult now to another sort of franchise or another creator, Christopher Nolan. Now, where are the parallels here? Think of it. Crash Bandicoot is essentially Memento, okay? If everyone's seen Memento, or if you've never seen Memento, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But hint, Lenny's not who he says he is, okay? Let's just think about that for a second. Think about Lenny, okay? If you've seen Memento, you'll understand. If you haven't seen Memento, you'll watch it and then come back to this. So I started thinking about it, and it's like, well, alright, Naughty Dog had also, what other franchise that really got me behind? Another one with a marsupial, and this sort of like elf hero. It was Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter, that series was amazing also. And I call that the sort of prestige year. Like, everyone recognizes that it's a good thing. It's a really great game. It's a really good movie. But not everyone's loving it. It doesn't have the accolades that, like, its predecessors had. You know? I mean, it has the marsupial. It has some of the elements that Memento had in sort of the prestige, but not fully there. But then there's the one that's critically acclaimed that across the board everyone just is enamored with, which would be for the Nolan parallel, would be the Dark Knight saga, and for the Naughty Dog saga, it would be more of Uncharted. Uncharted really was just a more aggressive Tomb Raider, blended in with the real actualization. If I saw an Indiana Jones game coming along, my dad taught me to appreciate that sort of like adventurer, treasure hunter sort of feel. So I was already hooked to Uncharted. And for Batman, I had grown up watching the cartoon series, so that in itself already enticed me to watch it a little bit more passionately, with more conviction, a little bit more critical. Like when Batman Begins came out, everyone was like, meh, another Batman. And it's understandable. After the debacle that we shall not mention happened to Batman. He had a bad credit card. So, let's just think about it. It's like, could it be that simultaneously greatness occurs in thoughts? And holy shit, That is a military helicopter. That is the good thing about having your window open. You see... Wow. Okay. That's totally going to detract from what I was talking about. Okay. Okay. If I repeat okay enough times, they will forget that I just stared at a helicopter. No, that's not going to work? Okay. So the whole point was, I believe, and this is just my opinion, and this is my belief, that behind Naughty Dog's, behind the Christopher Nolan saga, there's one individual we can all attribute this to. That is my theory. The ethereal essence of both these brilliant, sort of different dynamic mediums have one progenitor. I should say has, not have. Just in proper English. Now, I don't know who this individual is, but I just want to thank him. Because if you look at the periods in which I didn't have that much camaraderie and companionship, he sort of filled that void. So if you do exist and you are out there, thank you. Just thank you. This is more of a thank you speech.